Good morning to you. Now, to get up and see the sun is to know that you at least have one good thing going for you.
Because the way to live this life is to take every minute for what it's worth and milk it dry.
Yes, indeed. Part of enjoying all that life has to offer is getting out of bed and turning on your television sets, because you know that this amazing top-of-the-line breakfast show is waiting to serve you yet another delicious edition of itself.
And you'll have a number of beautiful people who are stoked just knowing that you are there with them.
Yes, indeed. You are a first-time viewer. Well, hey, the show is Wake Up Nigeria, and it is a one-stop family breakfast show designed for Nigerians, by Nigerians, and served by, of course, Nigerians and one Igbo.
Yes, and as always, we are with you for the next 1 hour and 45 minutes, and we'll be serving you a variety of beautiful things. My name is Ememio Koche.
And of course, my name is Mazino Peel. In the kitchen, we have the one, the only, the bearded one, Mr. Mike Mesikedo.
It was good, was good. I can't wait. 364 days countdown.
Wow,
What?
man.
I can't wait.
Are you serious?
We've just cut it in half. This is the start of another month. By the way, it is
Happy
July.
New Month, guys. Happy New Month, guys.
Happy New Month to you too, Mike. And Happy New Month to everyone.
Yes, indeed.
Happy New Month to you. I hope and I pray that this month will be a month of perfection.
Yes, indeed. Hey, stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Our YouTube channel also has loads of show for you to catch up on with at TVC Entertainment as well. So please hit us up, and also on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect.
Yes, indeed. Now, let's tell you what we have coming up on the show today. We have our book of the week, and this is Kiesi. Now, it's a collection of African stories for children, and we will be joined by the author himself, Tony Olaniji, an enthusiastic storyteller, story consultant, and also writing instructor. Fun fact, now, he's also an award-winning screenwriter, piano player, children piano trainer, and filmmaker. All of that in one person.
Right after is art display, where we'll be having some beautiful art pieces by Teslim Uzira, a fine and applied artist whose works include weaving, application of fabric and wool to create portraits, production of batik and bespoke wares.
That's very interesting. It's going to be a tale of two mics on the show today.
Right.
When you chronicle your life that way, you know, there's been this, in the midst of the reunion and all of that with reality show stars, they get to a point whereby they now say, it's my life, I want to do my own thing. Oh, Benny, you brought it out to us, you're a reality star. You chronicled your life to a large extent.
Enjoy it.
Exactly, so let us, it's our right to poke and find out what's been happening.
It's the way you serve us, we'll eat it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess so. One thing about reality is this unfortunate fact that happened during the week or over the weekend, was it yesterday? The loss of Obama from the DMW crew, which is very sad news. He was laid to rest yesterday in Ekpe. There's plenty to talk about when it comes to lifestyle of the rich and famous. I've got so many questions to ask, but I think perhaps maybe it's too soon, but I'm going to be inquiring into that maybe as the show goes on. But it leaves plenty of questions to be asked regarding how come things like this are happening and that they're persistent and happening, you know, one after the other.
One after the other. You know, like you mentioned, man, lifestyle, we COVID and everything. Lifestyle changes are they are so important. You understand? You need to give your body the best chance it can stand to fight against any other thing coming from outside. So the drugs and all of that will be there, but hey, give yourself the best chance, and that's important. That's important.
It is indeed.
That's important.
Right.
All right, and on that note, we'll have to check out what the weather is like today.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us this morning. Now let's do the news. Now, the All Progressive Congress national leader, Bola Tinubu, has formally welcomed Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle to the party, commending him for not succumbing to the coercion and pressure mounted by the People's Democratic Party for him to remain with it. Now, in a press statement released by the media officer, Asiwaju Tinubu said the move by Governor Matawalle showed that he is dedicated to bringing good governance to his state and move to a party founded on democratic ideals. The Zamfara governor formally joined the APC on Tuesday at a ceremony in Gusau, the state capital. He was received into APC by the chairman, caretaker committee of the party, and Yobe State Governor Mai Buni, and several governors of the party. Before now, Governors David Umahi of Ebonyi State and Ben Ayade of Cross River had earlier defected from PDP to the APC. Now, after the defection of Governor Matawale to the APC, bandits attacked and killed the members representing a Shinkafi constituency in the State House of Assembly, Mohammed Ahmad. He was killed, unfortunately, on his way to Kano after attending the rally to welcome Governor Bello Matawale of Zamfara State and members of the State House of Assembly to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Until his death, Mr. Ahmad was the chairman of the House Committee on Finance and Budget. The numerous agitations in Nigeria these days are developments from a deep-seated malaise triggered by leadership failure. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka made this assertion in an exclusive interview with TVC News, Uzonna Ononye. He began by reacting to the interception of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. And outside Nigeria, U.S. comedian Bill Cosby has left prison hours after his sexual assault conviction was overturned by Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The judges said there had been a process violation by the prosecution, but admitted their ruling was unusual. Mr. Cosby had served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10-year sentence at a state prison near Philadelphia. In 2018, he was found guilty of drugging and molesting ex-basketball player Andrea Constant. Dozens of women had publicly accused Cosby of sexual assault, but he was only tried criminally for the incident against Ms. Constant. His conviction in 2018 was widely seen as a landmark moment in the Me Too movement. Cosby is best known for starring in the 1980s TV series The Cosby Show and was once known as America's Dad. And you're welcome back for a Thursday morning, 1st of July 2021, half of the year gone already. Let's do the papers for this morning. Very interesting papers to cover this morning. Let's start with the Guardian newspaper for today. 6 months after Nigeria yet to implement AFCFTA, free trade will commence when crucial criteria are completed, says the Customs. At the top of the Guardian is a very interesting editorial. Federalism is the answer after all. You can find that one on the front page and continues on page 12. A look at the photo story for this morning on The Guardian. Chief of Army Staff Major General Farouk Yahya and the Chief of Defense Staff with one of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim, during the 40-day prayers for the late general in Abuja. This was just yesterday. At the bottom of the page, front page for The Guardian, Nnamdi Kanu, UK seeks clarification to provide him consular assistance. He was abducted in Kenya, say brother, and respect Kanu's rights. Abaribe tells federal government, and Hariwa asks courts to impose gag order against government officials. To the side of that, APC risks Zamfara treatment in Anambra gubernatorial poll, and financial crisis hits petrol marketers as subsidy gulps 1 trillion naira. Passing of PIB without 10% equity for host communities are fruitless. And finally, on the Guardian newspaper, Obasanjo urges Nigerians to celebrate excellence. Now we move on to our next paper this morning, and that will be the News Direct. Front page News Direct: insecurity, illegal possession, importation of firearms to attract 3-year jail term. And Ogun augments LG's allocation with over 2 billion naira in 6 months, say Afwape, and Governor Okowa to inaugurate new cabinet on Thursday, that's today. PIB, Petroleum Minister, NNPC GMD to brief senators in closed session, and 71-year-old emerges best PhD graduate at Unilag convocation. At the bottom, for News Direct, Senate approves 74.773 trillion, or rather billion naira budget for police trust fund, and Ganduje's convoy attacked by gunmen. Security personnel sustains injury. In H1 2021, that's half of the year gone, equities market depreciates by 1.3 trillion naira amid foreign investors exit, lingering liquidity and others. That's it for News Direct. Now we move on to the Daily Trust. On the front page of the Daily Trust, we have this headline here. Traders, experts worry as Naira freefall continues and currency hovers around 500 Naira to $1. And what CBN should do to ease the situation. At the top of the Daily Trust, 7 Nigerian journalists killed, 300 assaulted in 6 years. In PDP storms National Assembly, once Onochie rejected as INEC commissioner, and we're Nigeria's problem, not ethnicity and religion, say Buhari. Finally, at the bottom of the page, drama as Kano government probes anti-corruption agency. That and more inside the Daily Trust you can find and read. Now, I'll tell you what, let's do a bit of fact-finding now, and we're on to some very interesting conversation on what's up and about today.
All right, welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, social media has become a prominent part of our lives, you know, in general today. Yes, and joining us on that discussion on the impact of social media on the youth, we have Abdul Mumini. Yes, Abiola. He'll be joining us on our What's Up and About segment this morning to, you know, educate us on how the youth can use social media as a tool for change, right? Yeah. Fantastic.
The impact on all has been really, really very evident, especially in the past couple of years of social media. But in one sentence, how would you describe or explain that impact and its uses?
Well, I would say it's a revolution, you know, the ability to talk to somebody all across, like, you know, I mean, across the ocean, across, you know, I mean, the Atlantic. It's brought us more connections, and I think that's what the internet is, just a way to connect with people, but we need to do that in a constructive way. Okay. I think it's important that we do that in a constructive way. Okay.
How do we actively, you know, effect this change? Because, I mean, you are looking at this change from, not from a general perspective, but from political and leadership perspective. So how can we actively, as youth, you know, use social media in impacting this change?
Well, I'll say this, you know, social media is different in different countries, you know, as you go around. So, like, I've been to the United States, like, I lived in America for a while, so I know what it is there. I know what it's being used for there. I think it's different in Nigeria. Okay. But even in that confinement, we've been able to blossom. We see kids doing wonderful things. You know, in the beginning, you said, MM said something about, I'm going to educate. I'm not here to educate anybody. I cannot educate you. They probably even know more than I do. These young guys out there, they're doing wonderful things. They're changing the conversation. And I think what we need to do, you know, is to encourage them, you know, push them forward, expose them to more things.
You know what I think, and this is an argument I had the other day with a couple of friends. Social media is a disruptive tool, whether you like it or not. Like you said, it actually, it spans much more than just a basic community. It's worldwide. It's become a global village world because of the use of social media. However, it is disruptive. You cannot separate social media from the effects of, say, advocacy for one thing. And it's very difficult to kind of get everybody on the same theme, the same pattern, the same thinking, the same
vision.
So how can we, as the youth, I don't know if I'm still considered youth, but how can we make sure that it doesn't become so disruptive that it becomes violent or, you know?
Well, that's simple. You know, that's simple. You know, the issue is not that social media is destructive. Like I just said, you know.
Well, not I didn't say destructive, disruptive.
Disruptive.
Perhaps,
yeah, it's disruptive. But it's when you say disruptive, what exactly do you mean? What I'm suggesting here is the people that would understand Twitter or that would understand Facebook or Instagram would have to be from a particular generation. You know, it's like if my father were to be alive today, you know, God rest his soul, you know, I probably would be having arguments on a daily basis with him because we have come from two different time spans. He has a different outlook on life and everything. So what I'm trying to say is the only reason why it has come out to be something so hostile is because of the way people are perceiving it. You know, for me, in my generation, we would look at this as a tool to get our information across, to get people to understand where we're coming from. But from the past, they would look at it more as a tool.
So you're identifying two different generations and their perception of it.
Yes, and you said something about you don't know if you're a youth. I don't know. How old are you?
I'm 40.
Oh, you definitely are a youth, my brother. You are a youth.
Bring down your shoulders.
You are a youth, my brother. And I'll tell you, this is my definition, and it's only my definition of a youth. It's somebody from 18 to 49.
Wow, that's a long one, man.
That is my, and I'm not trying to exclude anybody. I'm just saying that in this, my little window, I see people who are from the generation that I can identify with. You know, it's important that the youth see their own you know, population so they can identify with them. You know, I heard something somewhere and they said, oh, you know, when it's time to vote, the youth are playing soccer. Of course, I'll be playing soccer too because I can't relate to the person that is there. I'll be playing soccer as well. So what we need to do is we need to expose our youth to leadership positions. If we fail, yes, we can fail, but we need to do that. So.
Well, we've seen it in the social media space evolve, you know, in the last couple of years. And talking about using it as a tool for change, we've seen it actually happen. But along the run, I mean, we could use the NSAS protest as an example. But along the line, we've seen that it was compromised.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
And that's what I was trying to say. I mean, the vision always goes on a tangent.
Yes.
Somewhere, somebody just decides.
Yeah, and well, over time, we have seen how young people are beginning to use the social media to, you know, effect that change or to spread the word or to, you know, give that form of information by creating, you know, contents that are, you know, very attractive, that are appealing, that are, you know. Is there more that can be done?
First of all, I do want to apologize to you guys at the TVC family. I've said this before, you know, for what happened at your
thank you very much.
At your place of work.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not right. I'll say this, yes, you know, with everything, there should be some kind of thought process around it. And that's why I'm saying that there should be some, what we had with NSAS, which was actually really nice, was that there was no real leadership for somebody to call and say, my boy, Joko, you know, and give you something, you know. So there was not that. So it was good to see the young people come together. And in the beginning, it was pure, it was lovely. And I think the powers that be, you know, could have started to feel, you know, threatened, and they could have taken out actions. But whatever happened, I think the way we move forward is not to just, you know, throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know, you take out the bad eggs, and then you look at the stuff that can actually promote, you know, unity and one Nigeria and things like this.
So moving forward, let's talk about development now. Let's talk about getting these two parties that you've identified, the older folk and then the newer ones who actually advocate for social media, to understand that this is actually a very, very useful tool. How can we bridge that gap? Because it seems like there is a gap when it comes to its use.
There is. First things first, we need to stop the rhetoric. All this, okay, oh, you're only saying this because of this. We need that. We need to just be constructive in our criticism. It's very simple. You know, there's no reason for me to insult you. There's no reason to use bad language. We can talk to each other civilly,
Civilly.
yeah, respectfully, you know, because we're all Nigerians, and nobody has the, nobody's alpha. There's no, you know, it's not like this. We're all Nigerians. My voice is just my opinion. We can talk about it. We can criticize ourselves, but we can still go to sleep. It's not something that we'll be saying, you know, I won't. You start fighting. There's no need for this. Yeah. So what I suggest is, first of all, using and putting out content that is more enlightening. So we want to educate these guys. So I'm starting something on a podcast talking about the face of the new Nigeria. And the face of the new Nigeria to me is the face of the youth. They're the ones who are, like, you know, I mean, energetic. They're the ones that grew up in the issues that we're all facing. So they have the solutions already. It's inbuilt. You know what I mean? It's like you grow up in a situation, you have the solution all the more. You don't even know that you have the solution. You have the solution yourself. Don't look at anybody for your solutions. We need to come together.
And it's great to meet you, actually. I never met your father. I wish I could have.
But you know, I want your name. I like your name.
Thank you very much.
I like your name.
And I love your passion, man. Thank you very much for joining us. It's such a short time, but I'm glad that we had it.
No, I'm glad I had it.
We're looking forward to, well, seeing your project and also speaking to you next time.
Inshallah.
Yes, indeed. Do stay tuned. We have plenty more coming your way on Wake Up Nigeria. Alrighty, now you are welcome. It is time for Book Chat. And of course, our book of the week is Kiesi, a collection of African stories for children. And we're joined by the author here himself, Tony Oladniji. You are welcome. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Very interesting stuff in this book here. I hope I first of all got it right. Kiesi.
Kiesi, yeah. That's
Kiesi.
it.
What's the meaning of Kiesi?
Kiesi means pay attention to it. It's actually talking about the art of attention, when you pay attention to something.
Okay.
So it's so important because, you know, when you check the way the world is now, one of the major problems now is we don't pay attention to our children, even to our lives.
Our culture.
Yes.
We've lost focus.
Yes, seriously.
Very interesting fact about our author here today. He's actually a award-winning screenwriter, a piano player, and also a children's piano trainer. So you do have a lot of, what's the word, experience when it comes to children. So I would imagine that that's what influenced you writing a children's book. Now, the culture in this book is one thing to take note of. I like the fact that these are stories that are relative to our environment, relative to our people, relative to the way we grew up and what we want to impact in the next generation, which is something that we actually see kind of like eroding or seeping away. But these stories, a collection of stories, actually refocuses us, just like you say, Kiesi is actually focus. So what inspired you to write a collection of African stories, or with African origins?
Okay, for one of the reasons, my daughter came home one day from school, and she brought a storybook. So when I read the storybook, I felt, you know, I could do even better things like this, I mean, than this. And apart from that, you know, I had a very exciting childhood. Just like what you just said, you know, I was an actor. I was a child actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was an instrumentalist. So I had a very exciting childhood, you know, in the world of arts.
Nice.
So, and I've been nurturing the idea for a very long time, but I didn't pay attention to it because I was fully focused on music.
Okay.
So, but I just felt, let me do this. So, and I started.
One of my best stories is Insectivore with Olumantis. Everybody, the names are very, very interesting, guys. You guys are going to love this. But I also noted that at the end or at the bottom of each page, there's a little note. It's either a definition of some sort or, you know, like I'm looking for one now. You define the words for the kids. Like this one, the entire page here has this note here, dazzled, to impress someone with your skills. So it's not just about the storytelling. It's also about educating the kids with new words and stuff like that. And it's separated into parts. You have stories for certain age groups and then the other. What is your aim for the book? Are you looking at it being some sort of textbook for a school curriculum, or what exactly?
Yeah, it's one of the things that I'm looking at. You know, like I'm discussing with the Lagos State government for that, to get it adopted in schools.
Okay.
So, and again, you know, I'm trying to go to schools, you know, both private and public schools, to share the idea. Story. Then the idea behind Kiesi, you know, especially because the stories are meant to highlight that particular, idea. PAC, paying attention.
Paying attention.
It's actually the driving, force behind the book.
Okay.
Paying attention. That's what I want to really project.
Okay.
So really, I'm working on getting it to schools.
All right.
And
Great.
getting it, adapted.
Let's talk about the art for the book. If you have a copy of this book, you'd identify with the very African art here. If you were to pick up a Snow White book, for instance, Seven Dwarfs, or, we have these very interesting stories that our kids are very familiar with. But the imagery is something that they're unfamiliar with. We live in Nigeria, we're Africans. What we are used to seeing is very different from, the depictions from these books. But yours actually brings us back to that African sense. Everything on here is relative to what a child will experience. The stories that they hear their parents tell of the chicken or the tortoise or the tiger, and the praying mantis and all of that. Who did you work with when it comes to the art for the book?
The art, the challenge I had when I was working on this book was, we have fantastic artists in Nigeria, illustrators.
Illustrators, yes.
They are very expensive for me. So I couldn't afford the good ones that I saw. So I went to an online store and I saw some people. Actually, 2 people worked on the book.
Okay.
One is an Iranian.
Oh.
The other is an Indonesian. They are not Nigerians.
Wow.
So but, the challenge was I needed to explain the concept of Africanness to them before they could come up with this. It was a challenge, really.
Well, you did a good job because,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell. I wouldn't have told that this was done by anybody but an African. Are you looking to perhaps maybe have this in some animated format eventually? Because that's the way the world is going now.
I'm working on that.
It might be expensive for your pocket, but hopefully this is going to pick up and you're going to be able to afford such a project. But I think that would be great.
I'm working on that.
And Mr. Oladniji, it is fantastic to have you on the show. We
Thank you.
love the fact that you've put this together. And now that I'm done with this interview, this belongs to my daughter. I'm going to have you sign it after so that she can have it. Thank you very much for bringing us such a world of interest in itself when it comes to storytelling for kids.
Thank you,
and
sir.
we look forward to your future projects. Now, do stay tuned because we have more coming up. Hey, guess what? Eminem, like Abiola called her, is in the kitchen, and we're looking forward to seeing what exactly it is we'll be having for breakfast this morning.
That's when we thought Nathaniel had abandoned us. He graces us with his presence.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be
All
back.
right, so this morning he's making pasta and chili sauce.
Yeah.
Interesting recipe. I love pasta. I'm a lover of pasta. And here I can see that you have variety of pastas.
I always love it when there are different shapes.
Right. We have our fennel pasta. We need to toss this aside a little so that people can see it. And then we have our macaroni pasta, and then we have our spaghetti pasta. Now let's talk about the other ingredients that we'll be working with.
Aside from this, we have onion flakes.
Onion flakes.
I
You love onion flakes.
That's a very nice flavor. Then we have our parboiled chicken. And we have chili sauce, soy sauce, oyster sauce. We have salt, cayenne pepper. Then we have some little vegetables, onions, garlic, and carrots, and green pepper. So I actually brought the soy sauce and the
Oyster sauce.
just to give it a little bit of the Asian flavor. So just a little bit, then the main one
Chili
is the chili
sauce.
sauce. Yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be quite a spicy recipe
spicy.
because, I mean, the combination of soya and oyster sauce together leaves that tingle in your mouth. Anyways, so water is boiling
Yes,
up.
it's boiling up.
Okay, so while that is heating up, kindly explain the process for our chili sauce.
Okay, so for the chili sauce, we are going to fry our onions and our garlic down.
Oh, we're still having fresh onions
Yes,
outside
fresh
of the onion
onions
flakes.
and garlic.
Why do you use onion flakes though? Like, I mean,
The flavor, because this is dried and
Yeah.
everything, and the flavor is different from that of
from the regular
onion.
onions.
So it gives you this like a whole different spice. Once you use onion flakes, and if you don't use it, you will notice a little bit difference.
All right. So we just need to let people know that the onion flakes is not a must-have, is
It's
it?
not, and it's just totally
Yeah. So
optional.
you can go ahead and have your onions.
And when you have
But,
onion flakes, if you have all those chili flakes too, just gives you a nice combination. But they are totally optional though.
Okay, great. Is it possible that you can create your own onion flakes? Like homemade onion flakes?
I've never thought about it. So most of the time, I just usually go to the mall and buy these things.
Right? Because there has to be a way we can create these things on our own, right?
Well, at times, instead of you spending time, you can just get this process and save yourself.
Well, that's true. If you have the time, go ahead.
Sure.
All right. So our water is
ready
heating up. We're going to add a little bit of vegetable oil.
Then
Okay. We are parboiling our pasta, yes? Okay.
Yes.
Right.
This.
Look at that. So our spaghetti pasta is in now and all of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So for those who don't know, for your pasta, the importance of putting the vegetable oil is to prevent it from sticking
together.
Yeah.
Cool.
So just while that is.
So we're just going to wait for that to cook a little.
Yeah. Then we're just going to chop
our vegetables. Okay, if you're just joining us on the show this morning, with me is Chef Nathaniel of Natido Cuisine.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. The excitement on my face, right? Yeah, that's because whenever Natido is around,
I'm always around in front of the camera and
behind the camera, right?
For those who know.
I like that. And this morning he's making spaghetti and, pasta and chili sauce, yes. And we have all of the ingredients here. You know, for the first time last week, I learned about soft chicken.
Wow. What do you learn about it?
I didn't know that. I actually always thought soft chicken was Orobo chicken. I didn't know that there were two different types of, or kinds of chicken. I didn't know that, I thought they were always the same. And then I tried using it for the first time, and oh my word.
Very, very delicious.
Ooh, the softness.
And even with this recipe, another thing
word.
you can also include is your buffalo sauce.
Ooh, the barbecue one.
Yeah, barbecue sauce or, or even ketchup, just to add it to the chili sauce and put it in the chicken.
You just actually reminded me of something that I tried recently. So I was going to make barbecue chicken, and then it was last minute. I found out I didn't have barbecue sauce.
Wow.
So what I did was I mixed ketchup and a little bit of honey.
Ketchup and onion.
Yes, you should try it. So what honey does is it gives it that sweetness. You should try it, trust me. You should try it.
Ketchup
yes, and just, mix it. Not so much of it, so don't go and be like, oh yes. MM said we should, so go and pour. No,
moderation
moderation is, just be moderate, in your measurements. But it turned out really, really nice. But you should try it. So, but what you do is you mix it in after you have fried your chicken. Yeah, and then you just,
just like to coat it.
Yeah, just coat it and just heat it up a little bit, just a little bit, and so that all of that, ketchup, honey,
and you can also add little pepper. Just
like I said, with cooking, allow your imaginations run wild. And that's it for now on Wake Up Nigeria. For now, we are taking just a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. There's something about plants. They give life and a certain ambience to your home and your living room space, of course. Yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Nathaniel of Natido Cuisine. And this morning, we are making pasta and chili sauce.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, how far?
So we are almost done, just like halfway through.
So let's bring in our pasta so that people can see that it's already been parboiled.
It's already been parboiled.
Yeah, so in here we have our spaghetti pasta, fennel pasta, and macaroni pasta. We have 3 different kinds of pasta in there. Now let's run through the ingredients and then get to where we at.
We have our onions, carrots, onion flakes, soy sauce, oyster sauce, chili sauce, chicken parboiled already, and we have pepper, green pepper and carrots.
Onions.
Yeah.
Sorry, and carrots, right?
Yes,
that's for our vegetables. And we also have spring onions.
Yeah, spring onions also.
Nice. And fresh onions. Yes.
Onions.
Yeah. So we are ready to...
Yeah, so just for the...
Okay, that's garlic going in there. There's something about garlic, guys. So garlic should be a must-have herb in your home, guys. Like, you need to use
the garlic and onions combination.
Yes. Apart from the fact that they have, there's this certain kind of flavor that it adds to your meal. It also is healthy. It's very high in antioxidants, which also help to boost your immune system. So go get garlic today. Yes. All right. So now that that's there, I feel someone's behind me.
Unwanted guests.
Oh my world. Mike, are you walking through or passing by? Which one?
is observing.
When you're expecting something.
What are you expecting?
So
Inspector
now
Gadget.
we're going to add
our onion flakes,
part of our
yeah?
onion flakes here.
Okay.
You're going to see the
Why
very
am I
nice
to fry
color.
the meat? Sorry. Because this time I'm talking about garlic. Garlic is a, you know that when you have to say something. Garlic is a must-have. And I'm like, ah, man, it's not true.
You don't
You
know
don't
what
put
is
garlic
in
in food.
Oh, but yeah, I do.
How many food?
Oh, every meal. Every
in
meal.
your burger too,
No, I
garlic?
don't use it in my soup.
I do.
But you can use it to saute your beef.
What for your burger?
Your beef burger.
So there's garlic in that burger?
Yes.
That one I ate that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Garlic is
Didn't
always nice.
you imagine what do you think made it that tasty?
Is it, so it's garlic alone now?
Yes.
Say, man, you put garlic.
Garlic is life.
Okay. Oh. Be careful as I eat garlic. Oh.
Don't distract us, Mike. We're
Who's
cooking
distracting
here.
you?
That's
Please,
one thing
when
you
is this
don't know
one
how
going to be
to
ready?
do.
If I cook for you, wait,
Mike,
you,
Cook beans for us, because I know that's the only thing you know how to cook. Please, beans.
See the beans
Can we
last
have-
night. Hey. Mado. When are we
Mike
cutting
can
this meat?
cook,
When are
oh.
we cutting this meat?
I believe Mike can.
You not focus on your food.
Okay, so right now we are adding our chili sauce. Ooh, that looks good. Nice. Oh, that's a lot of chili sauce.
Yeah.
That's a lot of chili sauce. Okay, so what's going in next? Quickly, let's explain the process because we have to go quickly.
For the chili sauce, we just allow it to cook a
Yeah.
little bit. Then once you fry the chicken, we can now add it at the end.
Oh, okay. And so
Onion
I'm
flakes.
guessing our carrots, green pepper, and spring onions go
going
in
for the-
last.
yes.
All right, fantastic. All right, that's it for now on in the kitchen. Chef Nathaniel is getting to work. We have Mike who's doing the tasting as usual. There's still 45 minutes to go, guys. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Now, like they say, the second time around is always a charm, and that
I
means,
am the charm.
well, maybe my next
With a sprinkle of Wake Up Nigeria in it.
in my next life, I'm gonna come like 5'5" and yellow. In any case, hey, you're welcome to the second hour here, and that means that things are about to get even better.
and brighter and delicious right there in the kitchen, guys.
What's happening there, Mike?
Mike Mexicano, please try not
They've
to
not
finish
gotten
the
to the important
chicken.
part.
Try not to finish the chicken.
They've not gotten to the
Thank you
important
very
part. It's not yet fried, so I can't do nothing with it now. At the moment, I can't do nothing with it now. So when they get to the part where it's very important, all this English word they speak, Ogbeni, where you go fry the chicken? Why are we waiting?
At the ending.
Why are you wasting time? This is fried chicken first. I use the stock and
Save the
that.
best for the last.
Oh, your head is there. All right, so we'll be getting stuff ready here. We'll be getting stuff. Auntie Snake Charm Alpha. Sorry, Charm.
Listen.
Anyways, the next 45 minutes is about to be a banger.
Yes, indeed. We're about to bring you the next, well, great thing when it comes to Nigerian television, and in fact, all over the world.
Yeah. Tomorrow is the weekend. Any plans? Any plans, Mr.
No, because I had a terrible weekend last week. I'm still recuperating. Trust me, I will not wish it on you, even if you are my enemy. Please, don't worry. Tomorrow we're going to make sure that it's a very, very energetic show for you. And
Of
you guys
course,
are gonna
and
love
we have
Oh, yeah.
Friday dinner.
Yeah, the game day tomorrow.
Anyways, today is Artsy Thursday, and of course, we have food. There's a potpourri of everything good and everything bright and beautiful. And of course, we've had art display.
Yes, we are about to have.
Oh, we're about to have art display. We've had book chats. Yes, that conversation was quite an interesting one, isn't it?
Yes, thank you very much. It was very interesting to see such, well, nicely written books focused at Nigerian culture for Nigerian children, and we're looking forward to seeing more from
And
that
just
artist.
in case you've forgotten, his name is,
Mazino Peel.
and of course, I am Ime Okoche.
I was 8 years old. I've got a portrait of my parents hanging in the living room.
Okay.
Unbelievable. I was 8, and it's actually, it's lifestyle. It does look like them. And when I go to my parents' place, I can't believe that I was the one who drew it.
Who drew
Okay,
that
I would
stuff,
only
man?
believe if you take a picture
I'm
of
going
it,
to take a
and
picture and send
then-
it to you.
All right,
You will not-
you
I'd
bring
like
it
to
up.
see that.
This one is not believing you. You need to believe.
They
You
say
need to
seeing
believe.
is believing.
Ah, wow.
The only art MM knows is makeup. That's why.
No, I can't
is
even do
art.
makeup to save my life. Yes, I can't.
Sacrilege.
Yes, yes, I know.
Are you for real?
Nah, I'm not.
You know when it comes
but
to-
why do you think after
I think every woman
after the
should be able
show
to.
I take off my makeup?
No.
You do? Oh, so that's you in the office. I don't recognize that.
What?
So you see, when it comes to the artsy side of makeup, I always feel like when I see a lady who makes herself up and can do her brows well.
Yeah.
And I know you're very, because I feel like from the brows, you know,
the makeup is going to be perfect.
The brows are like
okay, so
the very important thing. You know, when you
certain level of ambidexterity to be able to do that.
Definitely.
And this is a fun fact that I've never shown you guys.
You can do it.
I'm actually ambidextrous.
Yeah, you are.
I can write with both hands.
You are.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where or what orientation I am at a desk. Whichever one's closest to the pen is what I write with.
What else can you do?
I like.
What else can I do? Would you like to know?
No, those are interesting facts. We'll wait to find out.
There's a guy. No,
Later on.
I remember watching Three Idiots. There's a level of ambidexterity when you can write with both at the same time.
At the same time, I can't do it at the same time.
Down is big, big. Hey, come on, quite interesting stuff.
There are so many interesting facts. Let's find some out.
And it started out as a fun Thursday, and it's not ending yet. Thank you for joining us. Second hour here. Let's do the news. Now, the All Progressive Congress national leader, Bola Tinubu, has formally welcomed Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle to the party, commending him for not succeeding or succumbing to the coercion and pressure mounted by the People's Democratic Party for him to remain with it. In a press statement released by the media officer, Asiwaju Tinubu said the move by Governor Matawalle showed that he is dedicated to bringing good governance to his state and move to a party founded on democratic ideals. The Zamfara governor formally joined the APC on Tuesday at a ceremony in Gusau, the state capital. He was received into APC by the chairman, caretaker committee of the party, and Yobe State Governor Mai Buni, and several governors of the party. Before now, Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State and Ben Ayade of Cross River had earlier defected from PDP to the APC. Now, after the defection of Governor Matawalle to the APC, bandits attacked and killed the member representing Shinkafi constituency in the State House of Assembly, Mohammed Ahmad. He was killed on his way to Kano after attending the rally to welcome Governor Bello Matawalle to Zamfara State and members of the State House of Assembly to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Now, until his death, Mr. Ahmad was the chairman of the House Committee on Finance and Budget. Now, the numerous agitations in Nigeria these days are developments from a deep-seated malaise triggered by leadership failure. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka made this session in an exclusive interview with TVC News. Uzana Ononye. Now, he began by reacting to the interception of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. And we move on now, outside Nigeria. U.S. comedian Bill Cosby has left prison hours after his sexual assault conviction was overturned by Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The judges said there had been a process violation by the prosecution, but admitted their ruling was unusual. Mr. Crosby had served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10-year sentence at a state prison near Pennsylvania, or rather Philadelphia. In 2018, he was found guilty of drugging and molesting ex-basketball player Andrea Constand. Dozens of women have publicly accused Cosby of sexual assault, but he was only tried criminally for the incident against Ms. Constand. Now, his conviction in 2018 was widely seen as a landmark moment in the Me Too movement. Cosby is best known for starring in the 1980s TV series The Cosby Show and was once known as America's Dad.
Thank you for staying with us. It's Art Display Thursday. We have Teslim Yusirat. Now, she's a fine and applied artist. She does quite a lot. Her works include weaving, application of fabric and wool to create portraits, production of batik and bespoke wares. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She has a story which is quite similar to mine. You were telling me of how you started as a science student and you had to move to do the arts. Tell me a bit about that.
I've always loved arts since I was small, like very, very young.
Okay.
But then most parents in most African families, they believe if arts is not really that thing, you know, you can't really get money from arts.
Very true.
So they prefer you go for sciences, go to science class back then. So I followed the crowd. I went to science class back then. But I had to switch when I was looking for admission, when it was about time that I gained admission to the university. So I switched from science to arts.
To arts, okay.
And ever since then, I have never regretted that decision.
Wonderful.
Happy to do what I do.
Wonderful. You can't. You studied fine arts professionally, and I must say that you are doing your lecturers proud, your school proud. Yeah. Let's talk about. Let's get straight to what we have here. This is definitely Africa. What are you? What's the name of this art piece, and what are you trying to depict here?
Like you said, it is Africa. I am only trying to depict unity. The colors there, I studied most maps of African countries, and I realized the colors, the yellow, red, and the blue, the sky blue, they are peculiar to most African maps, the color. So I had to use the brown like a unifying color for all the African countries. And then the motifs, they are African motifs. These motifs have specific meaning in different African countries.
Oh, wow.
So
what does this one mean?
Well,
this one?
That one right there, it's something that is common to here in Nigeria. We have it here in Nigeria.
Okay.
The Hausas use it a lot. So
okay. All right. This looks like a clover leaf. And all of that. This is
and
lovely.
that is a comb, Ilari.
Okay,
over there.
Yes, I can see it
that
here.
means
I can see
unity.
it here.
It's also common in Yoruba land here in Nigeria.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
it's just African motifs combined together, and the brown color unifies everything, the whole colors together.
Definitely, wonderful. Now that's a Bamieda there, that's Fela Nicola Kwakuti. Of course, we already know him. But what material did you use to put this artwork, this piece together?
I use wool, baby wool. I'm here with it. So this is weaving.
Okay.
It's actually a process on the textile. It's another form of textile.
Okay.
So it involves the use of theft, warp and weft, the interswitch to create using wool. Most times, I realized that people use wool to create weaving mostly.
Okay.
But then when I started, I did weaving. There's a course like that back then in school, Ladoke Akitola, University of Technology, Bomosho. They taught us how to weave. But then I created something like that because I realized most people are used to weaving with just wool. So I decided to create my own weaving with fabrics. I cut fabrics into strips, and then I weave the normal weaving process. Okay. This is tapestry under weaving, and that is power weaving and tapestry.
This is magnificent. It's complex. It's intricate. I love this. I love this.
Thank you.
Okay, we're talking about this. You said, so this is tapestry and...
pie weaving.
And pie weaving, right?
Yes.
And this is beautiful. I mean, come on.
Thank you.
Come on. What's this name? Did you have a name for it?
This is Onigele too. There's a
Onigele.
series for it. I had made one already, the first Onigele. I sold that one already. So this one is the second Onigele under the series. So it's like a series. So I'm still going to produce more artworks under that series. I wish you had come last week.
Okay. You know why I say so? So we had a competition in TVC here.
Okay.
And our representative for our own unit went to Taigele. And he went to tie rubbish. If you had come in time, you'd have thought us maybe you would have won. But now we so well, it's great to so wonderful. Let's talk about this one. It's a beautiful. It's a pencil portrait. Okay, no, before the close.
Before the close.
Yes, let's talk about that one.
That's a portrait. I made that with charcoal and graphite.
Okay, charcoal and graphite. It's lovely. Yes. Who's that person?
It is a client. It's a commissioned work.
Okay.
So I'm here to deliver the work. Yeah, it's a commissioned work.
Wonderful.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, so that's a commission. Wonderful. Now, let's get to this fabric. I love this. I love this already. This is, what is this?
This is batik.
Batik, right?
Yes, batik.
Okay.
I made use of wax to draw, to print on the fabric to create this.
Okay.
Then I realized the patronage for batik is actually not that good. It's a little bit low because there in Abeokuta, there are a lot of people that do adire, let me put it that way.
Adire, yes.
And they kind of term it as a cloth that is not really modern, that it's not there out there, that is like archaic, something that people are not really using. So the patronage for it is actually very low. So I decided to start doing my own batik, and then after, I make use of vibrant colors. Then after designing the clothes, I decided to sew into bespoke wears where people can actually rock it. So then, using contemporary styles, what people wear now, you're wearing a shirt. So it's as good as you getting this from me, and then you still rock it and still look formal. So that's just the idea behind it.
It depends on the terms and conditions.
Exactly. Once you fulfill that, it's for you.
I like that. I like that. These other materials, are they still batik?
Yes, they're batik, but those ones are just in 5 yards. They are not sewn. They're in 5 yards.
So people can. Okay, now, so how did you? I love that as an artist you are diverse. You're doing quite a lot and all of that. Financially, how has it been for you as an artist? Is it financially viable?
Yes, yes.
Does it pay the bills?
Yes, it does. It does. Gone are those days when art is seen as a poor man's job. Now, it depends on how you can really put whatever you do out there.
I'll flog you people up. Because internationally, artworks are some of the most expensive things you can even buy. I mean, when you think about the Van Goghs, all the prestige that comes with artworks. Artworks are quite expensive, so
yeah, definitely.
It's not too. Okay, let me just so an artwork like this.
Okay.
Just give us an average. How much would something like this cost?
Okay, something like this can still go for 95,000 naira. The size.
It's cheap,
because of the intricacies. So
that's what I'm saying. Because this is intricate.
Yeah,
This is intricate and quite.
I want every average Nigerians to be able to afford my
to
art.
afford what
so
you
that's
do,
just,
right?
It's not about just putting money and then calling price. I just want people to patronize me, let them know what I do, and let them be able to support their children that actually love art. So they can know that it's something they can, do when they grow, whatever they do. And it can be a side hustle. You don't really have to study hard to do art. I train people. Most of these things can be, I can teach you and you will know how to do it. The embroidery, the embroidered work. Okay. The embroidered work, yes. Okay. Something, I made it with a needle and thread. It's embroidery, a needle and thread on a canvas. All I have to do is just make a sketch and then I start sewing, the normal sewing. Sewing. So that's you also train people professionally and all that. What do you ask for someone for a basic requirement to train somebody? Like, do you need to have any foundation in the arts or anything, or you don't have to.
That
was what I said a few minutes ago.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
Exactly.
You can be something else and also do art as a side attraction. Something you do at your leisure time when you have all the time for yourself. You just want to play with things around. You can be creative. Anybody can be creative. That's just the idea. Wonderful. Anybody can be creative.
Thank you so much. You are so inspiring. Thank you for coming today. And here's wishing you the best.
Thank you very much.
Someday, when you put your signature or something on an artwork, it will go in the millions. Yeah, we're looking forward to that time.
Thank you.
All right. So my guys are here, and they've been drooling over your artwork. Mazino and MM, they're there in the kitchen. They would like to give you something, so just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So please, come on in.
Thank you.
Your top is beautiful.
Thank you.
Please
I made this too. This is one of my products.
Do you need me to help you with that? Right.
Thank you.
Being such a gentleman.
I know, thank you very much. You good?
All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, this is Chef Nathaniel of Natido Cuisine, and this morning he's made for you pasta and chili sauce.
Okay.
I hope you like pasta.
Yeah, I do.
Well, even if you don't like it, that's what we're going to say to you, and you will like it. Anyways, so have a taste while Natido tells us how he put this together.
Okay.
So, for the pasta...
I can help you with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So the pasta is just regular spaghetti and macaroni.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. This really looks good.
Thank you.
Well done.
The taste test.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, so the chili sauce, we fried
chicken.
Chicken and pepper. We did that. Then for the pasta, we use a little bit of soy sauce to give it that little Asian flavor, and carrots, pepper, and...
Like it?
I like it. This is really nice. Well done.
Thank you so much. Usirat.
Yes, Usirat.
Usirat. That's
I
quite an
love your
interesting
art.
name, though.
Art is
Thank
fantastic.
you. Yes, it is.
It seems like a lot of work goes into it. I can't
Yes,
imagine how long it
exactly.
takes to finish a piece.
Yeah, it
But
takes a
that's
whole
beautiful.
lot. The
How
wool
long?
work,
How long does it take, though?
the wool work takes up to 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, but others can need something
Wow,
like that within 2
interesting.
days.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you
very
to
much.
all our guests. Thank you, Natido, for being here. You're always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right, and tomorrow is...
Game day.
Yeah, he does it for us when he's not here.
All right, so tomorrow have an amazing month. And yes, let's not forget, Mike is in the couch. Sorry, Mike, we forgot about you.
You see, they will forget about you.
And on that note, have an amazing day, people. Bye-bye.
Bye.